Today's game is all about arms. No, not those arms. Today on Ninchronicles, we're going to be taking a look at arm wrestling. Arm wrestling is an arcade game that... Hold on a second. Hey, can we get some music going? Oh yeah, that'll be fine. Arm wrestling is an arcade game that was released in 1985. The game stars a nameless green-haired challenger as he takes on a variety of opponents around the globe. Arm wrestling also happens to be the very last game Nintendo made by themselves specifically for the arcade. Everything after that was either based on an NES game or made by somebody else. So yeah, based on those parameters, I'd say it's the last one. The action takes place on two screens to really make it feel like a sporting spectacle. Now don't let the arcade flyer fool you, there's no giant arm attached to this machine. It's the classic joystick and buttons. And I'm sorry to say, the setup assumes that you're right-handed. Sorry, left-handers. From the word go, you need to start slamming the stick towards the left side in an effort to pin your opponent. And I do mean from the word go. If you try to move too early, the game will call you out and give you a foul. Twice in a row and you basically just lost the match. Eventually, the person on the other side will start shifting around or making funny noises. That's your sign to do something completely unexpected and move your arm towards the right side. The game considers this a counterattack. That gives these people a surprise reaction, and this is where you start mashing the button. Exclamation points fill up your power meter, so you'll want to make sure you hit everything you need to before the bonus disappears. Full power is your chance to really make a difference in the match. If you've got great timing, you can even shock them the second the match starts for an early boost. As a side note, you only have 1 minute to win the round before you just give up and automatically lose. Luckily, when you've activated power mode, the timer will stop, which will help put the match in your favor. You'll be facing a nice little batch of people at the table. There's the stud horse, Texas Mac, who's a total pushover. Special guest from Japan, Kabuki, will be putting all his weight into it. There's the mysterious Mask X, with his definitely illegal headbutting moves. We have the two good friends Alice and Ape 3, which will test the mettle of man versus machine. It's man. And finally, there's Frank Jr., who'll do that. Wait a minute, there's something awfully familiar about all of this. Two screens? A green-haired protagonist? A collection of opponents with wacky moves? Voice acting? This is a Punch-Out game, isn't it? Look, this guy is just bald bull. Yes, it's true. Arm wrestling was made by the Punch-Out team. It looks like they had an idea for a different sporting event after making two games. Every so often, you'll get to a bonus round where this carnival barker-looking man will throw a money bag your way. Time it right and you'll get a hefty score boost. Otherwise, just get slapped in the face with a bag of cash. After you defeat Frank Jr., you'll become champion of the world! No, wait a minute, not this time. You might not be considered the top dog, but everyone's gonna come back for a rematch. And they've brought some new moves with them. Texas Mac will stop you at the halfway mark before pulling this trick on you. Bald Mask will headbutt you with more frequency. And special guest from Japan, Kabuki, has been moved to the back of the line, where countering him won't always give you the power boost you need. In the first loop, you might accidentally trigger some skull icons, which immediately put you at a disadvantage if you mash the button too quickly. Here, they'll be in between the exclamation marks, which makes them extra dangerous for button mashers. The trick is to stop for a split second just before the skull. Then it'll turn into an arrow letting you know it's safe to pass. In the Punch-Out games, you are only given one shot at a rematch before having to start from square one again. But in arm wrestling, you have a bit more than that. Just like Punch-Out though, you'll eventually run out of chances regardless of the quarter count, and it's back to the beginning. But if you do manage to persevere, after 20 rounds, the game knows you've got it pretty much figured out, so it just gives up. Yeah, it's closed. Come back another time, bud. So hey, you can consider that an ending. Arm wrestling is part of the once-forgotten legacy of Nintendo's arcade games, getting a small but notable nod in the Punch-Out game for Wii. As of this video, the Arcade Archives on Switch seems to be doing a bang-up job of getting these chunks of Nintendo's history out to the masses. With any luck, arm wrestling will be joining that lineup soon. Then you can come back here and tell me what a fool I was for not waiting until the game was legally available for purchase before covering it. Wait for what? What do you... Ah!